Hey everybody, Mike here. It's another one of those videos where I'm facing the camera. That's right, it's one of Mike's advice videos, just a generic treatment of multiple choice tests and 3 things you can do to get better at multiple choice tests. Now, do you have that friend who always gets a good grade on the test because they're just good test takers? Well, don't hate the player, hate the game. And the game ain't going away anytime soon. Multiple choice is going to be a significant part of your success as a student, or even when you're trying to get into a professional school. Think about the standardization tests. They're all multiple choice. Why? Because it doesn't matter who graded them. There's no human element to grading that like there is an essay or whatnot. So all these standardized tests like the MCAT and the PCAT and the CAT, that's what veterinarians take. They're all multiple choice or have a significant multiple choice component. So you need to get good at multiple choice. The other thing is that a lot of these online homework systems, they are multiple choice because they're all robo-graded. Or if you're taking a distance or remote course, they're all randomly graded or automatically graded because they're part of a test bank. So I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do to get better at multiple choice testing. So let's take a deep dive because shallow dive is just snorkeling. Okay, here's our deep dive. Boop. Boop, that's my sonar. Boop, 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 boop. Cue stupid music. Okay, so the first thing I should tell you about how to do better on multiple choice tests, or any test for that matter, is don't do it in order. Don't do it in order unless you really are going to knock the thing out of the park and you know everything. And very rarely do you know the whole test. So what I'm saying by don't do it in order is that I want you to do it in waves. I want you to go through, let's say there's 30 questions on the test. And let's assume that your instructor lets you skip questions and come back to them. And if your instructor doesn't do that, you might want to have an honest chat with him or her and say that, look, if I've got to do it in order, you're not really helping me succeed. Because what you should do is you probably know after studying, and that's the thing, I'm not even going to talk about the fact that you should have studied. After studying it, you're going to be able to look at a question and go like, oh, I know that. So let's say it's question number 1. Oh, I know that one. Bang, it's B. All right. I know number 2. It's C. Ooh, number 3. I'm not good at that. Skip it. Skip it and go to 4, and if you don't know 4 well, skip 4. Do the first wave of stuff that you know how to do. There's 2 reasons for that. One is you are going to gain confidence as you do the test. So you'll be like, yeah, I just did 16 questions and I know I got the answers right. So I know I got better than 50%. And secondly, you're going to waste less time. So I can tell you that in my 28 years, I've had numerous times when I get an exam, let's say it has 5 pages, let's say it isn't even multiple choice, doesn't matter. And I watch the student just stare at one page for like 15, 20 minutes, didn't do a thing. And then, so page 4 is blank. Page 1, 2, and 3 are all filled out. Page 4 is blank. And then page 5 is blank because the student never even looked at it. So do it in waves. Go through, do the easy, low-hanging fruit. Then on the second wave, you might want to use some of the tactics I described next. And then on the third wave, maybe you're just tossing darts at the thing. But then you've plucked all the low-hanging fruit, and you're just wasting time if you stare at something for 5 minutes because you got 5 minutes left and you can do that. So now I understand if you go to a picnic and you have to eat your entire hot dog before you eat your potato salad, and you eat all that, and then you eat your corn, okay, maybe don't do what I just said because you have mild OCD. And you know, we want you to remain unemotional as you take this test. The second thing that can help you in your success is to use process of elimination to your benefit. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out some examples from this bad boy, which is the ACS study guide. All right, and I'm gonna go upstairs and we're gonna sit at the table and we're gonna go through some questions where you could actually limit your damage if you can narrow down the options by getting rid of the wrong answers, or just at least identifying what the wrong answers can be. And there's about 3 ways you can do that, and I'll do 3 examples right now. Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, it doesn't have to be that scary. Here's how we're going to use process of elimination. It's going to be, we're going to stay non-emotional and we're going to benefit from the fact that maybe we just know part of the question, you know. So here's how we're going to do that. We are going to go and look at this question I picked out on page 6. All right, keep it simple. We'll do Gen Chem 1 level questions. All right. So number 7. Numero 7. Which ion has 26 electrons? Oh boy. So let's say you get hung up on like, is it chromium 2+? Is it Fe 2+? Is it nickel 2+? Is it copper 2+? Now let's say you know a little bit about the question. You could say, well, I know that 2+ means loss or gain of electrons. By the way, it's loss of 2 electrons. Okay, so, but let's pretend we don't know that, and you're not going to freak out, but you just say, I know it's either +2 over the atomic number or -2. And so we'll say, okay, well, chromium is atomic number 24. And so just play along with my reasoning. So that means that's either 26 electrons or 22 electrons. Ooh, that could be an answer. Hey, there's iron. That's 26 atomic number, right? Iron atomic number 26. Ooh, well, that's not the answer, because that either means 24 electrons or 28. See what I'm saying? So now we just knocked out B. B, I don't want you in my life. Get out of my life. Nickel would be, you know, atomic number 28. So that answer could mean 26, or it could mean 30. So that could be the answer. Copper 2+. Copper is atomic number 29. And so this either means 27 or 31. Okay, now we can ditch B and D in this case. And now we've narrowed it down to A and C. Now let me tell you about one of the times I took graduate level biochemistry and the instructor had true-false questions, and I got clobbered by those true-false questions. But after collecting my exam back, I noticed that he had about 50-50 true and false. And so the bottom line is, what I'm going to show you now is going to be that you're going to decide when you do process of elimination, you're not going to just jump all around because you like the number C because it's your Aunt Carol is your favorite aunt or something. You say, I'm going to either go high or I'm going to go low, and I'm going to do it the whole dang test. And so, I don't know, I'm going to say I'm going to go low. And it's not going to pay off this time, but I'm going to say, okay, it's A or C. I'm going to guess, I know I can only get it down to 50-50, which, by the way, is better than 25%. So I'm going low, and the answer is A. And you know what? The answer is actually C, and I wouldn't have gotten it right that time. But, you know, that's just the chance you take. At least I had a 1 out of 2 chance and not a 1 out of 4. So let's go to another one, and I'll give you an example of how also positive and negative signs can do this. So, you know, you go to like, oh, here's something on page 52. Let me get there. Page 52, number 21. Okay, here we go. Now, this is where you might, you know, take snippets of things you've learned and using the given thermochemical data, what is the delta H for this reaction, okay? And here's all your delta H formations and its products minus reactants. But you notice what they're doing here? There's some are positive, some are negative. And let's say that I remember that, like, hey, that looks like something that's carbon hydrogen based with oxygen making water. That looks like combustion. So dang it, I'm going to say that I can get rid of all the positive ones because I learned that those things are almost always, or are always, exothermic, and I know it's negative. Now, geez, I don't know what to do. Why is the oxygen missing? Let's say you get a little flustered with that. But you know it's either C or D is the answer to number 21. And I'm going to say, geez, I got hardly any time left. I'm going to guess C, because I'm always guessing low. Now, actually, I don't even know the answer to this one. 21C. Let's see what the answer is. What do you know? 21, the answer is actually C. So while I got burned on the last one, the going low, you know, at least it averaged out. And if I was just jumping all over the place, I could have gotten 0 of them right. Okay. Lastly, the thing you can do after you've done some process of elimination, maybe you're getting late into the game of this exam now, is you can reverse engineer the question. So the great thing, the bad thing about multiple choice is it's completely unforgiving. So there's no partial credit, so that you might have gotten like, you know, the question mostly right, but you goofed up one step. Oh, it's all wrong in multiple choice. That's what's bad about it. What's good about it is that the answer to the question is there. And so sometimes you can get away with just plugging in the answers and seeing what the number in the question is. And so remember, this is after you've done the thing in 1 or 2 waves, and now you got those 2 or 3 pesky questions that are sitting there taunting you. Well, the answer's there. Plug the answers in. Find out what the question is. That's what I call reverse engineering the thing. But you might also be able to get rid of other choices and then go back to step 2, you know, which is to do process of elimination. So let's show you an example of that right now. Oh boy, let's do number 25 here in stoichiometry. Stoichiometry. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Okay, it even sounds tough. Stoichiometry, right? Okay, so the question is, consider this reaction, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they gave you a molar mass, which is nice because you learn to do that in week 2. What mass of CO2 will produce 8 liters? So here's what you could do. Just don't panic. Now, this is the kind of stuff after you've done a wave of process of elimination, and now you know there's like 5 minutes left, and you got all the questions done except for this one. And now this is the one you can stare at and waste 5 to 10 minutes on because you only got one left, and you could always toss you know, shoot at the exhaust port like Luke Skywalker and his X-Wing fighter and just poo and hope it goes in. And you know, you got a 1 out of 4 chance, but we could do better than that. So what I could do is I could say, you know what, I'm a little intimidated about this whole thing. It sounds like gas laws and I got to know all that. So what I could do is I could just plug every single thing in. I could say, well, that's 4.5 grams of calcium carbonate, and because it's about 100 grams per mole, that's 0.045 moles, right? Or you know, it's 4.5 divided by 100, and I could plug it in. I could say, well, that would make equal number of moles of CO2, and there's 22.4 liters per mole. About, you know, STP, and I could find out how many liters that is. And so I could say, okay, this number is, oh darn, I don't have my calculator. Step 3. 4 things you could do to help yourself is to have your dang calculator, okay? So what I could do is I could just go backwards, right? So I could say, oh geez, 4.5 grams divided by 100 grams per mole, that's how many moles. And I remember somewhere that there's 22.4 liters in a mole of gas times 22.4. They didn't say it was STP. So that would be 1 liter. And then you could say, well, geez, that's 8 times too small. So now I could go and I could just say, well, this one's 3 times bigger than that. So that would give me 3 liters. And this one is times 36 divided by 4.5 is about 8 liters. And so you can, by going backwards, I figured out that that would produce the number in the question that would be about 1 liter. This would be about 3 liters. That'd be about 8 liters. This would be way too many liters. And so you see, I didn't really even have to focus on what the question was as much as what the answers were. Remember, in multiple choice, the answer is always there. And so don't freak out in multiple choice. Now, you know, you can freak out when there's an essay or something and you don't know what the topic is, and then you got to really bring your BS detector. Darn, I forgot that, where's the answers to these? Hey, what was it, 20? I'm almost done, folks. 25 is, I said would be C. And so here we go. 25 is C. And see, I kind of went at that question a little differently. It takes a little more time, especially because that one was easier. But folks, that is some strategies to help you through your multiple choice journey. That's it for this. All right, gang. That's all I can do to help you to get better at multiple choice, unless you want to go back and play Trivia Crack, which is a game on the phone that I used to like and actually helped me learn how multiple choice works. Actually, I'm not sure that game's even around anymore. This spoils the whole video that I even brought it up. But thanks for watching, and good luck with your testing. Okay, coming back up to the surface now.